All right, good morning, guys. So we're on here a little bit earlier than the normal start time. We trade at 9:45. Just want to make sure that there's no issues today, that the mic is coming through, and we get rid of all those technical issues. So if you guys could let me know if things are working, that would be great. Mic's good, incredible. All right, I'm trying to get this Twitter chat pulled up. Me and Twitter are not the best of friends, guys. Yeah, I played with some of the settings and stuff on the mic, so everything should be nice and clear. We're going to make a lot of money today, guys. I'm in the right headspace. Yesterday was very annoying getting cut on stop losses. I came back, made it back in the evening, but that morning session was garbage. So, we got plenty of Zens, uh, sugar-free ginger ale. It's going to be a fun time. Yeah, I got my trucker headset. So just looking right now, around where the price is at, 59.50 is kind of going to be my key psych level for obvious reasons. It's just the half, the 50 between 5,900 and 6,000. So that's going to be a key level for me. If we break above it, I'm going to be bullish for the day, try to get to 6,000. And then if we can't break above it, then I'm just going to stay bearish. No, so I ended my fast yesterday on the sugar fast. I lost 7 pounds in like what, 3 days or something like that. It was incredible. So I am not fast today. That means I can pop more Zens. I feel good. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the way that I felt. A lot of focus. Just feel really nice and light. Feeling good. All right, so we got about 8 more minutes, guys, and then we can start trading. Remember, I know it seems boring for the first 15 minutes of the morning that we're just sitting here not doing anything, but it's all very methodical, guys. We're protecting ourselves. We're not going to get in any choppy price action, and it just puts you in a good habit. Just getting used to being patient, waiting for those good setups, and not just getting too jittery and anxious to just take the first thing that we see. Um, it's just there is a method to the madness. We're not just trying to miss out on this short right here. We're just, practicing good, solid risk management. But yeah, we're going to make a lot of money today. I feel it. I'm not sure if Twitter chat is working or not today, guys. I can't see any of the Twitter messages coming through, so I see the YouTube chat, just fine. I think YouTube is the better streaming platform. I just know most of you guys are watching on Twitter. I think it's more convenient on here, or whatever the reason might be. Just know for right now, I can't see the Twitter chat. It shouldn't be limited. Hold on. Yeah, X is delayed. X is such a cool app, but streaming is not their strong suit, in my opinion. Let me see if I can fix that, though, guys. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. For you Twitter people, we still got 4 minutes before this starts, before we start trading. Chat is limited, so I'm going to end this stream on Twitter, keep it on YouTube, and then I'm going to put it right back on Twitter so you guys can chat in here. So give me literally 30 seconds if you're watching on Twitter. Yeah, this is ES Jesus. So like I said, ES is quite literally the futures version of SPY. So if you are an options trader, and you're looking to get into futures, then you want to be on ES. All right. We should be good on Twitter now. What's up, Jesse? Yeah, I just restarted the Twitter stream. There was a couple issues with Twitter this morning, but it should be all good now. The chat should be working on there. I wasn't seeing messages. I wasn't even able to like see the live chat feature. So it should be fixed now, and we're all good as normal, and we still got 2 minutes before our trading starts. Perfect. All right. Yep. I see the chat on Twitter now. I see it on YouTube. Everything is as it should be, guys. We are ready to go. Audio is working today, no hiccups. We got plenty of Zen waiting for us. It's going to be a great day. 59.50 did fail. It smacked down pretty hard. It got above 59.50 for a second, and then smacked down hard. Yeah, news at 10. We'll always be careful with it. Maybe we're in a trade by then, maybe we're not. The opening range will be defined in the next just few seconds here, actually. And if you look at the price too, this is almost annoying. We're right back down to that annoying 59.30 area that we just kept rejecting off of yesterday. So I'm wondering if now that we're above 59.30, if that holds. We're going to see. I mean, that 59.30 level was my kryptonite yesterday. So I'm going to be very, very cautious with it today. Oh yeah, yesterday sucked, guys. I mean, we had the first short that was pretty good, and then it was just very choppy after that. Um, thank God for the big drop yesterday. That brought me back. I made pretty decent money on that. I was trading around yesterday, guys, on my 1 million Ultra account. I was just trading that one, and I found myself. I was pushing some size on it because with that size of an account, you can just push some large size. So at one point yesterday evening, I was just getting chopped. Full transparency, I was down like 15 grand on that account. And then, I sized up properly on it, and I came back from down 15 to up 7. So, like a 20 some $1,000 swing right there on that account, which was pretty cool. Because, like I said, these accounts have plenty of drawdown that you don't really have to worry about blowing through your drawdown. So thank God for the sell-off yesterday. That brought me back. And then, after hours, the massive, massive jump. All right. Let's see what we do. We're testing the bottom of this opening range. I'm going to take on a small short position here, guys, in anticipation that we're going to break under 59.30. Let me drag this chart a little bit. Set my stop loss right above that candle there. So again, I'm only doing one contract on this opening trade. We're at 59.30. Looking for the breakdown on it is what I'm looking for. If it holds and it reclaims 59.40 up there above that candle, then obviously, I got the stop in place. But if we want to come down, break under 59.30 and just cruise right back down under 59.20, I wouldn't be too upset about it. What's up, Lance? Let me go ahead and give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to reshare the stream and let more people know that we have started. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, I don't think X was sending out the tweet that we're back live, so I just retweeted to let people know that we have started. But yeah, we are getting the breakdown of this 59.30 like we wanted here. So let's see how far down we can push. Just to get the first opening trade out of the way. Maybe we test 59.25 next. So this will be what we're in right now, guys, is actually the test of the 59.30 hold. We broke a little bit under it, not far enough under it for me to take my profit out there. You know, we were, what, maybe 5 or 6 points is what we were up, but this is the test that we're waiting for right here. You know, we kind of came back up. We're retesting this key level. It's either going to confirm the hold for the day right here, or it's going to fail. This will tell us a lot about what direction we're actually going to go today. And if we do come back and fail 59.30, that's when I will add to the position. There might be like a 5 second delay at most. I'm not sure, guys, you know, what the YouTube delay is. But, you know, if anything, it's just a few seconds. Yeah, that's a hold of 59.30 right there, guys. Okay. Um, so I'm going to wait for this next 5 minute candle to form in 3 minutes. And then, um, you know, it's looking like we might want to go back up, potentially test that 59.50 area. 59.30 held. That's the spot that was our kryptonite all day yesterday. So now it's wanting to hold today. So I'm going to obey the levels. Yeah, 3 to 5 second delay. That sounds about right. we can come down a little bit, like maybe back to the mid of this candle right here, I wouldn't mind to take a long position. Actually, reading this volume, I'm going to go ahead and take one right now, thinking that we're going to break above this right here and then reclaim that candle up to the 50s. Nice. Yeah, that first short that we had on, I mean, it was decent. I mean, we got a little bit into the profit on it. Me personally, I didn't take it. I was looking for more, but again, guys, there's nothing wrong with taking profits quick. That's how you build up accounts. Yeah, $162, man. I mean, that's for the first opening trade. You can't hate on that. So good job. Want to see if we can push up a little bit into this news candle that's coming in 5 minutes. That would be ideal. What's up, Bobby? Good to have you in here, brother. See what we got here, guys. 59.30 is coming back up. Again, that's the key level, so I'm not going to add into this or do anything until I see what happens with 59.30. 'If we can get a second hold of 59.30 right there, then I'm going to add some size. We'll really full send the thing. 3 minutes to go here, guys. So my plan, just thinking out loud, if we can start reclaiming back up to the mid of this candle right here, I'll add. Or if we just bust under 59.30, then I can't add. But it looks like we are coming up to the mid of the candle. So we added one right there, guys. Still just keeping it nice and light, like we're very slowly scaling in. We haven't taken crazy size on anything yet. We're looking for a break of 59.40 and would like to go up and grab 59.50. That would be an ideal scenario. We're in the battle zone right here, guys. 59.30. Exactly like the battle zone was yesterday, the exact same number. See if we can pop the thing here. And if we can pop 59.40 here, I'm tempted to let this thing run. See what we can get here, guys. I'm just basing this trade off of that first hold of 59.30 down there. That's what's got me thinking, you know, we could have put a bottom in. Okay, this is the second test of it here. I'm not putting a stop on just yet because I want to see if this kind of holds here or if this is actually going to fail and then, we're going to stay under 59.30. Okay, I got my finger on the button here, watching this. Okay, taking it right there. I think we're going to go on down, possibly test that 59.20. So I took the stop on that right there. Another tough morning starting out for me so far. I am going to switch my bias to the short side. So we're going to take a second, let things redevelop, find our next logical entry, and get right back on the horse. I still feel like a part of me still feels like we are going to come back up and grab above 59.30, but again, you got to practice good. You can't just let things run down forever on you. So even if we do come back up later, then I'll get back into it. Just nothing is suggesting right now that we should be long. So as long as nothing is showing us to be long, then I'm not going to take another long trade. Now I would like to have some little pop back up that I can get short on. So any kind of retracement up a little bit would give me a decent entry for the short. Maybe another test of 59.20 and then a breakdown of that would be a good spot for the short. So we're over 2 on the morning. It starts out like that sometimes. We lost, around $500 on the first trade, which was fine. and then the second one got us for 1,500. A little bit more, but still, with this type of an account, that's still not, you know, a crazy loss at all. So again, whatever size accounts that you guys are trading on, personal, prop, it doesn't matter. Just make sure the sizing you're taking is appropriate for your account size. Okay, it looks like we're coming up to test that 59.20 spot that we were wanting. Maybe we can even get a little bit above 59.20 and then start scaling into the short and ride it down to new low of day. We'll go ahead and take one short. I'm anticipating it's going to go some higher so I can get some more size on this. But I'm going to start my scale in process. Longs aren't working this morning, so we're going to stick in trend. If the trend is bearish, then that's what we want to be too. We'll just lock in a nice win on the board, and then we're coming for everything. Give us new lows. I just want to push a little bit lower than what we're at. Nothing crazy. All right, we might get the lows right here, guys. $59.10 would be a cool spot to get down and test. Okay, I might get my chance to add into this short position. pop above 59.20 and I can get another short. A little bit more. Okay, we'll take it right there. So now I just have two contracts onto this. Again, going to the short side because the overall trend, all of this on the day has just been a bleed out. So I'm just trying to trade within the trend. Yeah, 59.12. I mean, the area is holding right there. I'm looking at, you look left on the chart here. We just got straight sell off. So it very well could end up holding that, but, until we have a long ways to go before we're going to flip the trend to bullish. So knowing that information is just making me think that we're going to stay bearish. Yeah, I know that you can use limit orders. Me personally, I always prefer to market in if that's just the way that my trading works. So now we're looking for the fail of this 59.20, which looks like what might be happening. All right, push on down for us. Okay, I'll take one of those off right there. So I locked in a little bit of profit from that average up that I did, and now I'm going to let this one ride. Looking for low of day on this one. Nice. Okay. I'm going to close it out right there. All right. So I'm not too disappointed in that one. There's 59.10. Kind of like I said, it would be cool if we hit 59.10. But with the way that the morning had gone for me so far, I just wanted to lock in a nice little win right there. So now we got a win on the board, a good scalp trade right there. What we were doing is, um, again, the reason that we took that trade is we tried a couple longs off the 59.30 level, kept getting stopped out, very similar to yesterday. And now you look at all the action of the day, all signs are indicating that we're bearish. And unless there's like a massive green candle or reclaim of some of this around 59.30, there's no reason to flip with the trend. So I was just doing a trend trade, waiting for the little bit of a retest of 59.20, popped a little bit above it, got our next short position added, and then, we wrote it down for a little scalp. Yeah, it could bounce. 59.10 is another level that I was looking at, so it very well could bounce. If it does, it does. We're looking for, the next perfect entry that we can go ahead and take another one. All right, time to get serious, guys. Zen o'clock. I'm about to put a double in. Zen nasty, yeah. All right. So obviously, we've puked quite a bit today. So being mindful that a bounce could come, however, being mindful that we got to stay in the trend as well. So we're going to look for bounces to the upside for short entries because, knowing that we've come down so far, it's kind of like, you know, um, what's a good thing here? Like a bungee cord or something, right? When you stretch it out so far, it has to snap back. So that's the kind of the same way when you have a long extension in trading like this, the trend can keep going all day long. It certainly can. We don't have to ever flip bullish on the day. However, when you get very extended, be mindful that the cord might need to snap back a little bit before you keep going in the direction of the trend. Nice. I'm glad that you guys in the chat are green so far. I have a little ways to go to get there and match you guys. The day is still very early, and in the grand scheme of things, I'm barely red. So I'm just waiting for that next setup, and then we'll get there. The Like we've talked about all week, guys. The trick of trading, what makes it hard is if you just take back-to-back losses or even one loss. just staying calm, like just sticking to the plan, like, you know, okay, I'm not gonna revenge trade into anything, take on crazy size just to get green right now. I'm just gonna keep doing the exact same thing over and over and over. Like, you know, when you're boxing, you just throw a jab out there. If it misses, are you never going to throw a jab again? No. If you throw it, it misses again, you're just going to keep throwing the jab until it finally hits because you know that the jab is a very, very effective technique. Yeah, the jab sets everything else up. What you can't do, what gets you in trouble is you throw a jab out there, it doesn't work, and then you just get all pissed. You're like, ah, whatever, I'm going to throw an overhand right and end this right now. And then you just open everything up and then you get knocked out. It's the same way with trading. If your strategy is jab, 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 then no matter if you miss the jab, just keep doing jab, jab, jab. Don't do a jab, then an overhand right, and blow your account. That's our fight lesson for the day. All right. I'm going to take a starter long here, guys, in anticipation that we're going to break above 59.20. Um, looking at the 5 minute chart, let me pull that up for you guys really fast. So, looking at the 5 minute chart here, is that the five? Yeah. I think that we put in a little bottom for at least the time being. So, you know, that's why we're long right here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 5 second chart. I'm sorry, that was looking very weird to me. Um, so yeah, down here we put in a little bottom, um, and we're reclaiming a little bit. So I want to break above this structure right here, come on up and reclaim this at that 59.30 level. Um, you know, it looks like momentum is kind of switching to the upside a little bit, so I'm taking a stab at it. Now I'm going to switch back to my 2 minutes. And we're good. And as tempted as I am right here to maybe take another contract on, guys, and, you know, think the plan's going to hit, I've been trading smaller this morning, so I'm going to stick to my plan, um, walk the talk that I'm telling you guys to do here. Just jab, jab, jab. Even if we end up making decent money on this and could have made more, we're sticking to the plan. Is the 2 minute better than 1 minute? There's really no best chart. It's just what works better for you. Don't like stress yourself out like, oh, this person trades on the one, that on the two, that on the five. It truly just whatever you can read better. Um, Off screen, I have my trading view and I have multiple time frames up. I keep a 5 minute up, I keep an hourly chart up, and I keep the 2 minute. Me personally, I used to trade on the 1 minute for a long time, but it causes a lot more jitters in your trading, in my opinion. So I do think for scalp entries, the 5 minute might be a little too long, but the 1 minute is like almost too short. So I think the 2 minute is a nice blend. All right. I went ahead and took that profit pretty quick right there, guys, just because, I'm staying mindful of what's been happening here. Going back to yesterday, every time we would come up to 59.30, we would smack back down and reject. I would keep getting my hopes up, thinking, oh, we're going to break 59.30 now. This is the time. It would come up there and tease me and not do it. So, um, little 5 point scalp right there. Nothing crazy. We're not going to get rich off of it, but we are going to climb back out of it, and it's going to pay the bills. All right, so we're putting some wins on the board. I'm liking this. The Zen is in. We're getting focused. Hats off. The hat was too tight this morning. Um, we're doing good. And that's, you know, look, guys, I'm keeping a very upbeat, high spirit. I'm red on the day. I'm down $1,400. Okay, whatever. I'm homeless. I'm down $1,400. Um, but you keep your spirits up. All right, we just got 2 solid wins in the book. Let's just keep doing that. We don't have to make the entire amount back in, one trade. Once we do get back into the green and build ourselves a little bit of a buffer, that's when we can start taking a little bit more size on to keep adding to that buffer. In my opinion, you trade your worst when you are red and you're trying to climb back out of something because your emotions take over. Even if you don't realize they can sometimes, and you start overextending yourself, and then you just keep building yourself a bigger and bigger loss on the day. Whereas if you just stay very focused, jab, jab, jab to get out of the loss, you know, maybe you're not going to end the fight in the first round, maybe not the second, but if you get to that 5th championship round, you win on points. It's still a win. Nobody cares what round you won the fight in as long as you win. What helped me to stay so calm during my trade? Just years of doing this, and that's the honest answer. There's no like magic book that I read, or there's no magic strategy that I could tell you that can make you calm. Other than get your reps in, just get you know years of experience, and you just get calm with it. It's like anything else. There are some things that can help you get there quicker, like you know understanding that every trade, regardless of what people say, you can have an edge, you can have whatever percent win rate, that's fine. Say you have a 90% win rate, sorry, say you have a 90% win rate, which would be phenomenal. Every trade that you take, the probability is still 50-50 that you're going to win or that you're going to lose. I mean, your edge can be there. You can, have a slight edge, think that it's going to do this, but at the end of the day, you're either going to win the trade or you're going to lose the trade. It's 50-50. So if you understand that and you're okay with either outcome before you take the trade, then there's really not anything to get too shaken up about. I have 10 consecutive losses. I would stay calm, but what I would do is I would leave. I mean, if I'm just losing, boom, 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 I'm just taking losses, then the only thing to do would be to remove myself from the screen that day because it just wouldn't be my day. If I'm taking my shot every single time and my setups aren't working for me, then the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, if you take 10 back to back losses, what I would suggest is like, all right, just take a break, go outside, go take a drive, go do anything else. Um, and that's just as important to learn that skill, guys, how to walk away. So see what I was talking about? We did come right up there to that 59.30 level, and when we smacked down, that's kind of what I was afraid was going to happen. That's why I was, quicker to take that profit right there. Yeah, go touch grass. Like, let's get away from the screens and let's, get out there in the real world. It's very easy to just disconnect yourself from the real world when you spend a lot of time trading. And this is like something cool to talk about right here, guys. Like that 59.30. We know that was being a pain yesterday. It was very annoying for us. So the more days that you trade, you start building up knowledge on, how it's acting at a certain level. So because you've seen it yesterday or the day before, so it helps you better prepare your plan for the next day if you already know how a certain level is acting. And that's, you know, if you miss a day trading, if you don't see how the market action is at a certain level, just maybe size down that first day that you're back so you can kind of, get the read on things at, less of an expense to you. It is good to see more of you guys in the YouTube chat today. We are growing, again, our main user base is on Twitter. I know it's probably going to stay that way, but I think the stream on YouTube is a little bit better if you guys can watch it on there. There's less of a delay. The chat feature is a little bit better. Um, so it is good to see numbers slowly start climbing over on YouTube. What is the name of my strategy? Dude, I don't have a name of my strategy. I just trade price action. There's no one set strategy that I'm trading. I'm just looking at the market structure of the day, looking at the direction, and I'm trading that price action. Um, that's the strategy. Um, yeah, I don't make anything off of YouTube, so I'm not doing this to make money off of views on YouTube. Even when I had the Goblin Gang channel, me and Tommy were doing that. We were getting decent views on our Goblin Gang, but we never made a dollar from YouTube. We made money from, we had a couple sponsors, um, and we made money that way. But YouTube itself, our content, we wanted to put out the best, most entertaining content for you guys, and YouTube did not like our content, like for that reason, so they demonetized us. But in my opinion, the smart play, you play chess, right? You don't like, try to penny grab, like, oh, I'm going to make, 2 cents a view or blah, whatever it might be. You just put out the best, most educational or entertaining content. Your viewers are going to like it. And if, you're giving value to your viewer base, they're going to watch your content. And then other companies will see that you have a viewer base. And then, that's how you make money. That's a little bit of business insight for you guys, at least in my experience. All right, so now I'm going to take another starter to the long side. We held this 59.20 area. Let's see if we come up now and do a retest of 59.30 and can break it on the retest. Again, not throwing crazy size out there. I'm going to jab, jab, jab my way out of this. Sign up Zen as a sponsor. I mean, I'm doing the most work for Zen. That really would be a cool sponsor. I don't think they'll give me one because they're massive. But if they did, they did. I mean, I'll just take some free Zen. That's cool to me. Yeah, we didn't really do anything that edgy, to be honest with you guys. It's just we we had certain language in our channel that YouTube didn't love, and then we always put like really cool visuals, like trendy songs that they said were copyrighted that we couldn't be monetized off of, but we didn't care. We just wanted the most entertaining videos with the best quality. It was never about making money off of YouTube for us. It was about having fun doing it, growing the brand, and I think we did that. Um, we did, however, this is funny. We had a sponsor with Trade Zero. They paid us a decent amount each month to, advertise their platform for them, which for small caps, I think it was a good platform. I did believe in it for shorting. It's probably the best platform for shorting. So that's why I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I do agree with what you guys are saying, but it got to the point with Trade Zero that they were making us send every video to them so their legal department could review our videos before we were allowed to post them. And then they called us up one day and they were like, hey, some words are being thrown around the legal department that you guys come off as misogynistic. We need you to add a strong female character to your show. And we're like, what do you mean show? This is like we're not putting on a fake TV show. Like we have our girlfriends, but we're not going to go out and grab some cast girl and be like, hey, we need you to be in our videos, to satisfy the legal team. So they were calling us misogynist, which we're not. Like I'm anti-misogynistic. I do think that it's good when guys are guys and girls are girls, but I think girls can trade just as well as guys can. Not saying that that's not the case, but yeah, they were just being a pain to us, so we just we parted ways. They told us if we put out a certain video that we're going to lose the sponsorship, so we put out the video and we lost the sponsorship, and it was kind of fun. Yeah, I mean, when you have somebody that tries to dictate what kind of content you're making and they were trying to script videos for us. And we're like, no, we're not doing this. So we bounced. Um, Controversial, I mean, maybe, but what I mean by that is I do think, not trying to be controversial at all. I just think that, guys, I mean, if you take care of your body, if you stay active, you stay in fitness, you try to get your finances right, and you just try to be a good provider. I think that is a very good thing. That's all I mean by that. Not that girls shouldn't pursue any male-dominated career. I mean, I think um, in a lot of aspects, females are better at guys at certain careers because they have pretty skill sets that make them really dangerous in a lot of careers. Not like saying that one gender is better than the other because I think they're both equal. Yeah, they wanted reality TV, um, and we were just trying to do our day-to-day life. And what I'm doing here, guys, like, I barely have any size on in this position. I'm just letting this thing develop out. I'm thinking that maybe 59.10, we could have put the bottom in. And I'm just, one contract only on right now in this price action. How to deal with the Trump tariff news? Well, I mean, there's really nothing we can do about it. Whatever is going on with the tariff news, it's out of our control. So the only way that you can deal with any kind of news is you keep good, solid risk management. You, obey your stops, and you size down a little bit. Like, don't just go overly crazy on size and wreck yourself. And I guess to elaborate on that, like, I think again, not to like get controversial or anything. Again, I keep saying that I want there to be equal opportunity for everybody. I mean, I think everybody's created equal. If females want to come into any industry, I think they can excel at it. And I know some female traders personally that are incredibly good at trading. And in fact, there are some data that suggests that females make, sorry guys, oftentimes females can make better risk management traders than us males can. And what I think one of the reasons by that is us as males, then innately we have egos attached to us. You can try to stay as humble and level-headed as you can, but I think somewhere inside of us we have more of an ego than what females have. So like we feel, the need to like sometimes gorilla out, bang your chest and be super macho, which, that has its time and place. That's all good. You can bank in doing that, but sometimes you sacrifice good risk management in doing that. And I think one of the reasons is, I'll just speak to me personally. I'm not saying anything else. As a guy, I put a lot of pressure and responsibility on myself that I want to be a good provider for my wife and family. So, for that reason, I will take risks because I feel like it is my responsibility to take care of my family. And, there are females that are the breadwinners in the family. I'm just saying for me personally, I have this innate desire that I feel like I have to take care of everything. And I feel like a lot of guys are similar in that respect. So sometimes, that can get us in trouble with trading. All right, it looks like we are going to go on up and hopefully test and break this 5930. Yeah, just simple biology. I mean, it's all it is. Just like the same concept. If somebody was to break, which it happened, you know, this happened to me one time. Somebody broke in my house when I was living in LA before they robbed it. They came in there while I was there one time, and it was me and my now wife. So I heard, the door kind of getting broken in. So immediately, um, first instinct, I jumped up, grabbed a pistol. I always keep, a few firearms around me at all times in various rooms of the house. And, I immediately went after the person. And I just felt like, what was I going to do? Tell my wife to go do that. I would rather jump in front of the bullet if anything's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I think you can have a lot of fun in LA. I mean, it can be a very beautiful place. I mean, it is dangerous. Every city now is dangerous, though, not just LA. But, it's just, I instinctively put certain roles upon myself that I'm like, all right, well, I have to be the provider, I have to be the protector. And it's as simple as that. Like, and you do it out of a place of love, that you want to protect the person that you're with, not like out of a place of superiority or anything like that. You just instinctively want to protect those around you. All right, let's go break this 5930, guys. Come on. And see, like, we've been in this trade for, several minutes now, guys, and we're staying very calm through it. We're just looking at the market structure, key levels here. As simple as that. You just have your plan. that you're doing, and you just stick to the plan. Stay calm in it. And like I said, on any given trade, you're either going to win it or you're going to lose it. But you just have a plan. And also, just throwing out something to note here on this trade, if we do get back to 59.30, we would be popping back into that opening range level. So if we can pop back into the opening range, then hopefully we can reclaim this entire red candle right here. And if we can reclaim that, then I'll sell this position and then see if we hold the reclaim, or if it's going to show more weakness. All right, this Zen, we're done with it. Does Tommy still trade? I'm not really sure. I haven't spoken to Tommy in a little while. We don't really talk about trading at all. I know he's very busy with this new music project that he started. Yeah, we're still friends. Um, going through what we went through, all of the guys, I mean, I think we developed a pretty good friendship that I don't think we'll ever not be friends. If we go spells without speaking to each other, people's lives get busy, but yeah, we're all still friends, and we would be there to help each other in any way that we can. Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, we missed all of you guys too during the time away. Like, I'll never be able to describe to you guys just kind of mentally, emotionally, financially how hard that whole situation was on all of us. I think it took a big piece out of all of us that it changes as people. Um, like we went through literal hell in that, guys. Yeah, I think the case was mainly about censorship, and certain people wanted to kind of make a name for themselves and put some new restrictions against day trading, which Congress has been trying to restrict day trading for years and years. So it was just another attempt at that. Um, and we were willing to risk it all to not let that happen, because we didn't do anything illegal whatsoever, despite what the lies were spread about us. And we got to meet a lot of cool people along the way, guys. Like, we got to meet like a lot of you guys. It was a very cool time. So I don't regret going through that. If like me having to go through that helped traders in the industry to be able to keep doing what we do to make money, then whatever. Then it just had to be us that went through it. I'll take it on the chin. All right, here's that 59.30 area. Um, I'm going to go ahead and take this one off right there, just obeying that 59.30 that it might come crashing back down. So another little jab in the books. We're jabbing our way out of this, just like we said. Nothing a couple's in. That's exactly right, man. I mean, what I've learned more than anything, guys, and I'm not trying to act like some really old wise person. I'm 30. I still have a lot about life that I'm going to keep learning, but um, I feel like I've been through a lot for a 30-year-old. Um, the case and more stuff outside of the case, but you know, you just can't take anything too seriously, and you got to develop your resilience, and you just got to, keep your faith high, and you know, not back down in the face of adversity. Oh yeah, like there was never any doubt that we're going to turn this to green, guys. Like I said, like we took a couple early losses, whatever. I, managed my risk in those losses. You keep shooting the ball, and now we've reclaimed over half of the loss already. So we're just sticking to the basics, guys. Jab, jab, jab. We still got some diet pop. We got plenty of Zens over here. I mean, life's good. Win or lose, life's good, guys. And that's how I really do believe if you guys approach trading that, you know, understand every trade that you take, you got, when you boil it down, you got a 50% chance. You're either going to win or you're going to lose. Obey your edge, stick to your losses, stick to your plan. Don't go rogue, don't go crazy on position sizing and go on tilt, and you're going to be just fine. Like I said, if you go back and look, I'm sure a lot of you guys, and this is not saying anything bad, this is true for all traders. Um, you're like, well, I win 15 days out of 20 on the month, but I'm red overall on the month. And if you look, the reason why, it's like, all right, well, you're making $200 on your average winning day, but you're losing 1,000, 2,000 on your average losing day. It's just very distorted, and what that shows is that you're not obeying your losses. That, like, when you take a loss, you just start, your emotions get the best of you, and you just go wild with it. All right, we are bouncing back up into that opening range level. So we popped back above 59.30. I took the profit a little early there just because the way that this level has been acting the last couple of days. So, scalp, 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 get our money back. And again, you guys are seeing the way that I'm getting out of this is keeping very moderate size, even though I have these large accounts, guys. Um, no matter how large your account is, I'm just doing very moderate size base hits, getting all of this back. You don't have to make $10,000 every day. Um, it's cool when you do that. I mean, it looks great on social media, but I think for most people, um, that that leads to some unrealistic expectations, and it leads to a lot of account blowups. You know, you don't have to make 10,000 a day. What you have to do is you have to manage your emotions and manage your risk. And if that's your only goal for the day, you're going to be fine overall. So at this point, it being right around the 59.30 level, I don't know for certain if it's going to hold 59.30 or if it's going to fail it again and break under it. So when I don't know for certain, well, you never know for certain, but when I don't have a pretty good idea of what it's going to do, if I'm kind of 50-50 on the fence with it, then I'm going to wait. The market gives you plenty of opportunities every single day. I mean, if you let one go by you, if you miss out on something, then it doesn't matter. Um, I was telling yesterday, one of my best friends has been for man over a decade. I don't know how long. He's also my MMA coach, and he's phenomenal at martial arts. I mean, uh, jiu-jitsu, he's a wizard. And I was telling him, like, hey, like I've seen you when you roll with people, like you pretty much just toy with most people that you're rolling with, and you let so many different submissions go. Like, you'll let arm bars go, like you'll let very basic submissions go because you're setting up for something like really cool. Like you're just like waiting and baiting people into it. The same way for trading, like sure, we can do 2 point scalps all day long either direction, but each time that you enter a trade, that gives yourself another chance to lose. If you just like let the little tiny beginner things go and you wait for that perfect setup, um, yeah, I think you make more money. What up, brother? Good to see you in here. Oh yeah, I got the short shorts on today. Don't you worry. So here's what we're gonna do. I see a trend forming right here. So I would go long if we can break above this gray line right here, guys. If we can get above that, that's going to be my indicator to go long. If not, then I'm in no hurry to try another long in this madness. Again, I know how painful this 59.30 area has been the last 2 days now, so I'm respecting that area, knowing that I don't have enough size in the world that me personally can impact what ES or SPA is going to do. So me just trying to will something to happen with massive size is not going to change the outcome on anything. Oh, dude, the little shorts with high waist socks, that is the style, I'm telling you. Um, if people are laughing at you, they just haven't caught on yet, man. What do you want to do? Wear shorts that look like capris? No, I don't think so. And see, right there, guys, that's what we're talking about. Like we had this little micro trend that started forming bullish, but you got to understand we're in a sea of red today, just down, 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 baby. Um, so we got to have some sort of a confirmation that we're out of the down stuff. we're just kind of hovering around in a tight little range right here between 59.30, 59.20. There's not a lot of action going on, above or below those levels. We need to break out of that little bit of a range. So to show you guys more, I guess, visually what I'm talking about is this right here. So this gray line right here, if we can break under that gray line, I'll go short looking for low of day. If we get above this gray line, then I'll go long. Nice, good job. Yeah, like I said, guys, like even if I'm not in a trade, like the levels that I'm pointing out here and stuff, they are what the levels are. So, if you wanted to go short off of that, then good job. You made money. That's exactly what my hope is from this stream, that you guys are, you're watching, you're learning something, and you're developing your own strategy with it. Because I mean, as you guys have seen, I'm not right 100% of the time. I just look at what the market structure is, make the best assessment I can at the time, and we go from there. So that's great that you did your own thing with it there and you made money. That's incredible. Yep, it did reject off of the orb right there. That's exactly right. Looks like we're going to come up and try to retest that trend. And if we do, then we'll go long. If we don't break it, then we don't have to do anything. And I think that's, I don't say the hardest, but one of the hardest things about getting people that are, you're still developing as a trader, is understanding that you don't have to always be in something. So we're just in this little consolidation zone right here, guys. It's truly a 50-50 spot right here. Like we're smack dab in the middle. We could come down to this or we could go up to that. So we don't know which one it's going to do. And the minute that you try to like time it early, the market will be like, nope, and then it'll, suck it back the other way. Tale as old as time. So you see, just as we were looking like we're, breaking down right there, We're just staying in this market structure right here. So we don't know if it's going to break down or if it's going to keep going up. What we got is the overall trend of the day is bearish. So we have that knowledge working to our favor. But we got the short-term trend right here, a little bit bullish. So, I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm going to take a starter to the long side as we're approaching this level back up here, guys. So just taking a starter to the long side, thinking that we're going to pop above this gray trend line. This trading platform is Volumetrica. Halcyon gives it to you completely free if you have an account with them. It's a really cool platform. I think it's very in-depth, very simple to trade on, and it does the trick for me. I really enjoy it. Nope, I don't want that line on. All right, we're jabbing, guys. Sure, I'll check the DM after stream, Jag. No problem. Pull that down a little bit so we see where our trend line is. Could have been another reject off of that trend line there, we're going to see. Looking like it might be. So if it breaks under this gray line right here, let me go ahead and put my stop loss right there. fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut this early, take my loss a little bit early right there, guys, because I don't love that reject that it had right there. So taking that loss a little bit early, couple $100 loss. And I'm going to go ahead and get short coming down into this trend line right here. Just because we're bearish overall in the day. We just rejected that, and we're coming back down to 59.20. If we break under 59.20, I would like to go hit low of day. What am I buying? I am trading ES. So ES is basically SPY futures. So I'm always trading ES. It's just, you know, S&P. The 5-minute chart at the moment is showing weakness. So again, guys, the 2-minute chart is on screen, and I have, you know, the 5-minute chart off screen. If it can give me a break under 59.20, then I'll add into the short position. Just trying to go with the market today. And something pretty cool coming on stream for Friday for you guys. Steve, the CEO from Halcyon, is going to be on stream with me, and he's going to be live trading with us too, which is pretty cool. So you'll have both my charts and his charts up streaming. Yeah, that's how you got to do it with red trades, guys. I mean, just quickly brush it off. I mean, like I said, I don't care how many red trades I take. I'll obey my stops on them. So far, we just keep rejecting off of the 59.30 area. So I'm just watching and waiting for us to reject again. Give me a proper breakdown of 59.20 and I will add in some decent size. Yeah, I see the bull flag. It's starting to form even here on the 2 minute. Um, I'm just, the trend line has been smacking down, so I'm just trying to see if that happens again. I don't want to keep taking longs and keep getting chopped, so, but if it does break above that, obviously, then the short's invalid. Set my stop above that trend right there. We're either going to bust above this trend line and it's going to get me, or we're going to reject in a hard way and, we would go for low of day. Looks like we're about to be stopped right here, though. At least me personally. Yeah, I mean it's easy to do to have those theories that you think the market is directly after you. It's not. It's just, unfortunate luck sometimes. Um, the price action is a little bit choppy overall. Like if you look here, well, maybe I'm not sure why that's not. One second. All right, well that box is going to stay there for a minute until I figure out how to get it off. And I still don't know if this trend is going to hold. I might have had my stop too tight right there. Um, but, we have to obey stops. I'm not fully convinced that we don't want to go lower. I'm just going to watch and see how this trend acts here. We keep rejecting off of the open range low. We keep rejecting off of 59.30. Um, we just can't break under 59.20 at the moment. But I'm going to try again short for that 59.20 break. I'm putting 2 on. I was kind of thinking it might smack down at this trend line. It just got a little bit more above it than what I would like. Now, if we can come down here, properly break under this, like I was wanting to do to begin with, I'll feel pretty good about it. Yeah, it's just barcodey action today, guys. Thank you, Sherman. I appreciate that. All right, come on. I'm going to take 1 off right there, guys, just in case we do bounce off of this trend like last time. Letting 1 ride, though. So we'll make back the entirety of that loss right here, regardless. And, as you guys are seeing, sometimes my stops will be a little bit tight and it will come back down and do what we were looking for. But um, like I keep saying, I keep very, very tight risk management, and that's kept me in the game for a decade. So I don't mind taking a loss and then getting back in if it does reconfirm what I thought. Now let's let this thing bleed out a little bit, hopefully. And I'm going to start moving my stop down with me. There we go. Let's go, guys. Let's get it. I'm going to go and take it right there. Pretty good short. That's the move I was looking for before we got stopped out. It just, I told you that 59.30's been very, very tricky. So we did get the move that we were initially looking for. It just took us 2 trades to get it. So again, I'm happy with both trades, and the reason why is I thought it was going to go short, which it ended up going short. So we were right on our analysis. That's important. If like our analysis is all trash, like we don't know what way it's going to go, and we're just throwing darts, well, that's a systematic problem. If you are right on your analysis, but it's going a little bit against you, like I said, I can't outfight the market, guys, as much as I want to. So I have to obey my stops. Then if it reconfirms what I thought it was going to do, I'll get back into my initial idea. So we made that back, just small red on the day for right now on the morning session. I'm probably going to go ahead and end it there on a good note on that short. Let this choppiness kind of break up a little bit, meaning I want to see if we can just get completely away from 59.20 and 59.30. That's just a major chop zone, and it's difficult to trade that right now. Very difficult to trade that. But overall, I mean, I'm happy with the setups that we took. We took good risk management. We hit a couple winners. I'm small red on the day, which that's trading. And I'm going to let this price action clean up, and we'll come back and make it back. But thank you guys for watching this stream. I'm having a lot of fun doing this with you guys. I hope you all are learning stuff, getting your risk management up, and you know, we're definitely going to win more than we lose, but we just got to keep our risk management on point, guys. And the most important thing is you can't blow these accounts or any account that you have, because then you're out of the game. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys on Twitter in a little bit.